feels different. I don't think I've ever come into a video like that before. But they're getting better at keeping me in there. They're trying to keep me and not let me escape. So, here we are. Summer's here. Time to make some cool, delicious, easy to make dishes for summer. We're going to be making today is a chicken salad and chicken wraps, just like you would get at a McDonald's or a KFC quick in their drive-thru, except ours is going to be fresh, delicious, and homemade. Everything you put into a chicken salad is the same thing you put into a chicken wrap. So what we're going to do is make all the ingredients and show you just the different ways to assemble it. The toppings will all be up to you. So let me get out of this contraption and we're going to get started. We will be starting with two types of chicken, store-bought, pre-breaded, and raw, that we will be breading ourselves. Every salad and every wrap starts with a base of lettuce. We're just choosing a nice fresh iceberg here. Then we'll shred a bit of the purple cabbage or red cabbage, whatever you like to call it, cucumber, tomato or tomato, mushrooms if you like, even if you don't, bacon strips, the crispier the better, fresh carrot, which we'll be cutting into a julienne, parsnip, only if it's something you like, dill pickles for that real southern feel, and finally, or some people think most importantly, real cheddar cheese. You can use whichever cheese you like, but I think the sharper the better, the more the better. You can never have too much cheese. And finally, our wraps. You can choose whatever you like, but here's a sun-dried tomato basil, and this right here is a spinach and herb. One's larger, one's smaller. You can even just use the regular tortillas you use to make soft tacos. It's all up to you. Now, let's get started and chop some of this stuff up. Let's start with our cucumber. I always cut it on a little bit of an angle, gives that piece a little bit of a long look, rather than straight across smaller round. It just makes it gives it a better appearance on a salad. For a wrap, it really doesn't matter much. What we're going to do is cut everything up, assemble one of each, and then allow everybody to just make their own wrap or salad, almost like a salad bar. It looks like I'm in need of a sharpener. Probably what I'll be doing tonight. Now when we cut pickles, we're going to cut them differently. We want long slices, so you can get a little bit in every bite. You don't want individual little rounds. You can do that. If you have hamburger dills already cut, you can do that. It's all up to you. But the spear works best in a wrap. Next we'll be cutting mushrooms. When you're cutting a mushroom, do not wash it until after you cut it or wash it the day before. A wet mushroom is a slippery mushroom. There is no way of getting around that. You wash the mushroom and then try to hold it to cut it, you have a very, very, very good chance of cutting your fingers. So what I do is I slice my mushrooms first, then I put them in a colander, a strainer, pasta strainer, whatever you want to call it, even a sieve, and then I rinse them. You can leave the stem in, you can take the stem out. It's all a flavor that you either prefer or don't prefer. In my house, in a white mushroom, we'll eat the stem. It's not a problem. We enjoy it. So let's get these cut up. You want to cut them kind of thin, just because if they're going into a wrap, you'll be surprised how quickly only a couple of items take up so much room, you can't get a wrap closed. If you've ever made tacos at home and made your own homemade stuffed tacos or burritos even, once you start, you always say, oh, a little bit of everything, I'm not going to overfill it. And before you know it, you can't even close it, and you're eating it like a burger. So here we go. When cutting a tomato, you need to cut out the core. You need to stab into it, and the best thing to do is move your knife back and forth, but turn the tomato. Do not move your knife. If you're moving your knife, you have a good chance of cutting yourself. The inside of the tomato has harder and soft areas. If you're trying to move your knife like this as you go around, you're going to hit a hard area and it's going to break free. And then you're going to cut yourself right here. I've seen more cuts simply doing this in all my years of cooking than anything else, because people try to do it too fast and they cut into themselves. So you can also buy a tomato corer. It looks like a melon baller. It's a little round scoop. Looks like a spoon with teeth. And you can just scoop it out. Now, once we've got that cord, we're going to cut it 2 ways. For the salad, we're just going to cut wedges. Because wedges look pretty, and it gives you a bigger mouthful of a bite for the salad. You can also chop it. You can chop them up into smaller pieces. So you have thin, thicker, and chopped. Okay, now's our carrot. We're going to eat our carrot with the skin on. There's a lot of vitamin in a carrot. It's healthy. There's no need to peel it unless you don't want the skin on it, but I am going to wash it. Now, the same thing with the parsnip. You can take the parsnip, you can cook it, you can eat it raw. There's a lot of potassium, high in vitamins. That's a very healthy vegetable. If you're going to eat it in very large quantities, you need to peel it. If you're just putting it in a salad or a wrap, you are just fine. So let's wash both of these. Okay, I ran them both through the dishwasher. It took about 45 minutes, but look how clean they are. Almost as if all I did is rinse them with water. So we're going to cut them in about 2.5, 3-inch lengths, cutting off both ends, and then simply cut them in half. By cutting them in half, you can cut them in julienne. You can also shred them on a shredder, and that's what we're going to do with the parsnip. Now take your carrot, just like you did with your tomato, and we're cutting it into wedges. Most things you want to be able to have a big enough piece where you can taste it when you bite into it. Crunchiness, that kind of texture is a good thing to have. Flavor is even better. Now using the large setting on my hand grater, I'm going to take my carrots. Whoa, I dropped it. And just grate them down. And you can see, we have 2 different textures of carrot now. We have the julienne, sort of, or wedges, whatever you want to call it. We also have the shredded, and that's very good. Now it's time for the parsnip. What we're going to do is cut off the end, just like we did with the carrot. Cut off the other end. We'll save that for my macaw. My bird loves them. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut it into about a 3.5-inch length, 2.5, somewhere around there, and we're going to wedge it, just like the other one. These are a little harder to cut than a carrot. They're a little more fibrous. You can boil them if you want first. You can saute them in butter. Like I said, you can eat them raw. They're very, very, very healthy. Good source of vitamin C. Now, you can see that they're julienne, just like the carrots. And we're going to take our grater again on the same kind of setting and just shred it. It's going to look like cheese when we're done. It's going to look like white cheese. It's making a mess. It's going everywhere. That's okay. I tell a lot of kids when I'm helping them, if you're not making a mess, you probably aren't having any fun. And there we go. There's our julienne carrots, our shredded carrots, julienne parsnips, and our shredded parsnips. Now's our bacon. We only have a little bit here. It's left over from yesterday. It's pre-cooked. We made BLTs for dinner last night, and this is some of what's left over. What I'm going to do to reconstitute it is simply put it in our air fryer on 350 degrees for 2 minutes. That's all it's going to need. Okay, our bacon is done. It looks beautiful. Now we're going to chop it into pieces. You can, if you like, you can leave it in strips. But if you've ever gone anywhere and had a burger or a wrap or anything with bacon in it, and you bite through it, if you don't quite completely bite through the bacon, when you pull it away, the bacon will pull everything off that's inside of it. So we're going to chop it like we just did, put it in a little bowl, and add bacon sprinkles. You can add Bacos if you want. Bacos is a pre-cooked soy-based bacon. It's for people who don't eat meat. Still tastes like bacon. It's good for salads. It's good on this. Either way. This is from McCormick's. They're bacon pieces. Bacos is a brand name. Any kind of that, they're red. They're bacon bits. They're pretty popular on salad bars. You can use this. You can use real bacon. You can use none of it if you like. It's all up to you. Now for the lettuce. What we want to do for the wrap is we want to shred it. You can shred it in a hand shredder. I just like to cut it nice and thin so by hand so I can get a very good thin mix that fits in the wraps easily. It can be wrapped easily. You don't want any lettuce while you're trying to make a wrap stick out in whole pieces that prevents you from getting a full wrap. Remember, when you get down to the end, don't cut that close to your finger. Turn around. Always hold the big side, cut the small side, and then you can simply shred that up like that if you want as well. Now, for the salad, we're going to use the same lettuce, and we're going to be using some other lettuce as well. But we're just going to cut that off, and all we're going to do is tear it into pieces. We could cut it, we could tear it. There's all kinds of schools of thought on how you should do this. If you're going to save it in water and try to keep it for a few days, definitely tear it. If it doesn't matter to you, you can cut it. It's all up to you. Everything you do, everything is always up to you. At this point, we're going to be shredding up our red cabbage, the same as we did our lettuce. We're going to shred a little bit of red cabbage to put in with the shredded lettuce, and we're going to use our knife because it's very hard to tear. We're going to use our knife to cut up some big chunks that we can put in with our salad. You can also just shred it all and just put shred in with each one. It's a very small amount of purple compared to green. It's mostly there for color. You can add as much or as little as you like. You can eliminate it completely. You can add more. Like I said, everything is up to you. Okay, we're starting to run out of a little room here on our cutting board. But as you can see, I did not cut off much to start with at all. I'm going to put that out of the way. And all we're going to do is, I've already washed this, shred it very thin. Like I said, this is for color, it's for consistency, it's crunchier, it's tastier looking. You always eat with your eyes long before you eat with your mouth. So look what we have. It's all shredded fine, just like the lettuce. Now I'm going to leave mine separate. Anybody who doesn't want to put it in doesn't have to, because this is going to be self-service tonight. They're going to make their own lettuces, or their own salads, their lettuces. They're going to make their own salads, their own wraps. It's going to all be up to them. We're going to make some chicken in a few minutes, show you how to make some sauces, and we have the most important ingredient to go. Now I said the most important ingredient is coming up, and I don't know what you think it might be, but if you know me, you know my videos, you know exactly what it is. Cheese. You can never have enough cheese. So let's shred this up. You can see I have the shredder right over a bowl. I'm just working my way down. I have about 1.5 pounds here. Whoops. There's a piece that broke off. I'll probably have to eat that for quality control. I'm going to turn this over. Shred some more. Shred some more. Shred some more. Look at that great big bowl. That ought to be good for one wrap. You should be able to get that all onto one wrap. I'm just kidding. But we're going to see how this cheese tastes. Oh, that's good. Now we're going to cook some chicken. As you saw earlier, we had some chicken that was bought pre-breaded, and that's okay. You can buy it pre-breaded, you can buy it pre-cooked, pre-grilled, whatever you like. Remember, this is your dish. We also had raw chicken that we're going to cook off, and we're going to bread some ourselves, and we're going to broil some with no breading. So we'll have plain, homemade breading, and breaded from store-bought. Let's get started on that. Here's a simple breading that I use almost all the time with my chicken. All it is a little bit of all-purpose flour. How much you say? I call that a blurble. That's when I give my students. Blurble means whatever you think you need. That's a blurble. We're going to be adding Lowry's seasoned salt. I like Lowry's. There's a lot of different manufacturers that make this. Some of them in different parts of the country and the world have actual arguments over which seasoned salt you're going to use depending on where you live Almost like beer commercials fighting. Tastes great, less filling, blah, blah, blah. I like Lowry's, and that's what I use. You want just enough Lowry's to where the flour turns a little bit orange. When you cook the chicken, it's going to sweat, which means it's going to give off moisture, and the breading is going to fall off while it's cooking. Now we're going to use cast iron, because as you all know, I love cast iron. You can't get any better than Lodge. Now, what we're going to do is turn this on to medium-high, and when it gets hot, we're going to add some vegetable oil. In my classes, I teach everybody, especially the small humans, that when you can do this 8 inches above the pan, and it feels here probably how hot it is right there, you're ready to go. Don't touch the pan, don't put your hand inside of it, don't touch the liquid. Your hand isn't made for that. So, here's our flour. Whoop, let me turn the slide off. Here's our flour, and here's our chicken. We're going to flour the chicken, and what we want to do is that which is going to be breaded, we're going to flour and let it sit for a minute to kind of dry out for us. Now we're going to add our vegetable oil. Vegetable oil can cook a little bit hotter than olive oil. Olive oil has a good flavor. Vegetable oil has a good flavor too. Olive oil has a much lower flash point, so it doesn't cook as hot. Vegetable oil will cook hotter. Now we're going to take the same chicken we had just breaded and let sit, and we're going to put it in. Starting to sizzle a little bit. Probably could have let it get a little hotter. We didn't. We'll be okay. At the same time, we're going to take our raw chicken that we haven't breaded, just our plain, and we're going to put that in there as well. Now with our heat on medium, we've had it on for about 2 minutes. And you can see that the ones we lightly breaded, you can see how brown they are. And the ones that are not breaded are a little bit whiter. So those are breaded, these are not. We're going to let them cook about 2 more minutes on this side. You're going to get splattering. You're going to get grease in a few places. I have an overhead exhaust. I can't turn it on right now because you'd never hear me. So we're going to clean up the mess when we're done. Now just to make sure we have enough chicken, I added a few more pieces of uncooked chicken, or the unbreaded chicken, in with the same pan. We're going to give it about 2 more minutes for the first chicken we put in, 2 more minutes to flip the new chicken. You see I added a lid, helps keep the splattering down, helps keep moisture in. However, always remember, it's up to you what you want to do. Lids have basically 2 purposes. Keep the splatter in, and they keep the heat in. And when I say keep the heat in, I mean the moisture and everything else. So use it how you want. It's not a terrible mess to clean, but it's less to clean when you do this. It could help keep your chicken moisture. It's harder to watch. It's up to you. So that's what we're going to do now. While that's cooking, we're going to take our pre-breaded chicken that we bought with the breading already on it, put it in our air fryer now on 350 degrees for 5 minutes. I'm just going to turn it on. I'm going to set my pre-select temperatures to chicken. Tell it I want both sides cooking at that temperature. Put in my chicken. Close it. Hit start. Whoop, it turned off on me. Hit start. There. The timer's set for 15, so let's do this. Let's pause it. Turn it down to just 5. And go. Now you can see our chicken's looking pretty nice. The stuff we breaded, nice and brown, kind of crispy, the way we like it. We'll cut it into thin strips when we're done. The chicken that we did not bread has that nice bright chickeny color to it. And these are also that we did not bread, but you can see that they browned up a bit too. They were a little bit longer. So there's a good plate of chicken right there, right there. That looks pretty good. Now the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to use my Lodge cast iron wok, and we're going to use this to heat up the tortillas or the wraps or whatever you want to be using. It's all up to you. We just want it on low. So by the time our chicken's done, in the air fryer, we'll start heating up some wraps. Alright, while we're waiting for the chicken in the air fryer, we're just going to slice this up a little bit. You can see that it's perfectly cooked. It's tender in the center, juicy on the outside. Let's try a flavorful taste here. Now I know that's going to be hot, and it is, but it's delicious. Oh, that is so good. What we're going to do is slice up all the chicken thin like that. Once we're ready to go, we're going to make a wrap. We're going to make a salad. You're going to go make it, and you're going to eat it. Okay, let's start with our sun-dried tomato basil. We don't need any oil in there. We just want to get it warm, so we're going to let it just sit there and warm up. If you have another flat cast iron pan, you can do it in that. I didn't have time to wash it, so I just went to this one. We're going to let that heat. We might turn the heat up a little bit. And we're also going to get a bowl to put our salad in. Any kind of bowl you like, whatever you eat out usually. Here's a good dinner bowl we can use right here. Okay, it's been about a minute and a half. We're just going to flip it over. Like I said, we just want them warm. We don't want them hot, just warmed up. All right, let's take that out of there. And there we have our nice sun-dried basil wrap. We're going to use a little bit of the, let's start with the unbreaded chicken. Just a little bit in the center like that. Some shredded lettuce. Some shredded cheese. Some shredded cheese. Then we're going to take some of our diced tomatoes in this one. Put some diced tomatoes down the side, whatever you like. You want a cucumber in there, you can. I'm going to keep it simple, just put a pickle down the middle. And I'm going to add a little bit of bacon to mine. I'm not going to be too greedy so everybody can get some. And that's how I like mine. Now let's make a salad. We're going to put a little lettuce in there. We're going to put some purple cabbage. Get a good little mix in there going. Line it with a couple of cucumbers. Ooh, it looks good. A couple of tomatoes. Ooh, that looks good too. You want a mushroom or two, you can put a mushroom in it. Now, you want a shredded carrot? Put a shredded carrot in there right now. You want a bit of cheese? Put a little cheese in there right now. You want some lightly breaded chicken? Put it across the top. And there you have it. What else do you want on there? It's all up to you. You want more pickle, you want parsnip, you want anything else in there, it's all up to you. What I'd like to add now are croutons. You can make these yourself. You can toast your own bread with spices and seasonings in the air fryer, or you can buy them pre-made in a bag. Sprinkle a few over the top, and there you have a beautiful salad. Oh, did I say cheese? There we have some cheese. Now, any dressing you like on there. My family really prefers the Olive Garden Italian. You can buy that in the store. Ranch dressing, anything you want to make, it's all up to you. But that's a beautiful, perfect salad for you. You can have olives, whatever you want to put on there. It's all up to you. Now let's go finish that wrap. Now for our wrap, we can put anything we want on it. We can do plain. You can just put some lemon juice on it. You can put the real lemon from the bottle. You can squeeze a lemon on it if you like. You can put ranch powder on it. You can shake the ranch powder on, just ranch seasoning. You can put ranch dressing if you like ranch dressing. I'm going to show you something you can do with that ranch dressing in a second. Olive Garden Italian for the salad. Everybody here loves that. Thousand Island dressing, it's all up to you. Now this is really good on wings as well, if you like buffalo wings. Hidden Valley Ranch is probably the best ranch you can get if you don't make it yourself at home. But if you put a little bit, add a little buffalo sauce to it, just like that. Just a little bit. Stir it up. Get it mixed fully. And you have spicy ranch. It's buffalo ranch and it's delicious. It will go great on that wrap. So, this is Chef Ken Dad telling you, please, 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 like and subscribe. I can't get this channel to grow unless you like and you subscribe. Tell your friends. If you don't have any friends, just tell the people you know. Also, If you want to learn how to make things like this with me together on Zoom, go to CHEFKenDad.com, and I have live cooking lessons set up that are on a 24-hour scale, so they can be done anywhere in the world. You can also go to CHEFKenDad.INFO, and you can see a schedule of all the things we do for Outschool.com. Outschool.com is an online platform where I teach small humans how to cook and make things like this. How to be safe with knives and product, and how to cook and why you're cooking what you're cooking, and how to improvise and what the word blurble really means. I can be found on the web all over. There's a place called YouTube. You've probably been there. CHEFKenDad on YouTube.com. So, CHEFKenDad.com for adult classes, aprons, and hats. CHEFKenDad.info for the schedules and what we're making for the small humans. And on Outschool.com, CHEFKenDad at Outschool on Outschool.com is where I teach young kids, the small humans, how to do everything we're doing here. So, find me on the web, come visit me, leave me a comment, leave me a remark, but please, like and subscribe. So, this is CHEFKenDad saying, I hope you enjoy this. I know we're going to go eat more than we should, because we always do here, but it's delicious. Baking is science, cooking is art. The more you do, the more you see why. Thanks, everybody. Take care.